Bruce Willis once appeared to me as the image of a hero, with a fierce gaze and roles that captivated the world. Yet beyond the screen, his life tells a very different story. Words are slipping away from him, and the voice that once carried such strength now feels fragile. It's not only his battle but also a test of love and resilience for his family. Emma Hemming Willis, his devoted wife, has spoken about the tears, the struggle, and the courage they faced together. Hearing this, I fall silent, realizing that even the immortals of Hollywood have their fragile moments, and it is the simple, ordinary days that truly matter most. Bruce Willis was born on March 19, 1955, in Idar Oberstein, a small town in Germany, while his father was serving in the U.S. military. His childhood was marked by constant moves, which shaped his natural curiosity and adaptability. When the family settled in New Jersey, young Bruce discovered a whole new world, where he found joy in performing arts. At school, he wasn't academically outstanding, but he carried a natural charm every time he stood before an audience. That charisma pushed him toward acting, leading him to Montclair State University. There, Bruce not only studied the craft but also learned to observe, to understand people, and to pour genuine emotions into his roles. On stage, he appeared in small plays, often as minor characters, yet every moment under the spotlight made him feel alive. Those years of persistence taught him discipline, patience, and the belief that dreams could become real if he kept moving forward. After leaving school, he sought opportunities in New York, beginning with small Broadway productions. In the days and nights of B.B. Fenstermaker, audiences first saw a vibrant Bruce Willis, not yet a star but already memorable for his authenticity. Soon after, he turned to television, where even the briefest appearances became lessons. While Miami Vice gave him little room, it was the series Moonlighting that truly changed everything. That role transformed him from an unfamiliar face into a household name, admired for his natural style, funny, strong, yet approachable. It wasn't just a career breakthrough but also proof of his long journey of self-belief. From modest stages to the grand screens of Hollywood, Bruce Willis moved step by step, building a career on passion, perseverance, and sincerity. His story reminds us that becoming a star isn't just about luck, it's about endurance and the courage to chase dreams to the very end. I still remember the first time I watched Bruce Willis in Die Hard back in 1988, when he stepped into the role of John McClane, a regular cop, not blessed with superhuman powers, not a caped savior, but brave, clever, and filled with a very human sense of humor. McClane wasn't someone distant or untouchable. He felt like the man next door, a father, a husband, a cop just trying to do the right thing. That very ordinariness made the character unforgettable. The glass-shattering leaps, the tense crawl through air vents, and the deadly confrontations with terrorists inside a skyscraper, all of it was delivered with such authenticity that audiences believed McClane could be anyone, maybe even themselves, only with the courage to fight back. The overwhelming success of Die Hard could have easily boxed any actor into one mold, but Bruce Willis refused to be confined. In 1994's Pulp Fiction, he transformed into Butch Coolidge, a boxer torn between honor and survival. The character carried raw intensity, mixed with moments of subtle humor, and Bruce embodied it with a realism that made the role unforgettable. Then in 1995, 12 Monkeys brought him into a darker, more complex space, where James Cole wrestled with fear, trauma, and confusion. It was proof that Bruce wasn't just an action star, he was an actor willing to explore fragile corners of the human psyche. By 1997, in The Fifth Element, he was Corbin Dallas, a former soldier both tough and relatable, serious at times but sprinkled with wit. Through him, Bruce offered a new kind of cinematic hero, one that blended strength with vulnerability, creating a performance that stood apart in the world of science fiction. And in 1998, Armageddon lifted him to another height. As Harry Stamper, the man who shoulders the fate of humanity, Bruce didn't just play a hero, he played a father, a leader, a man who sacrifices everything for love and duty. That role carried not only explosive action but also heart-wrenching emotion that brought tears to audiences around the world. Bruce Willis has never been just John McClane. He is a testament to persistence, versatility, and transformation. Every role he has taken on isn't merely a character, but a memory, a mark that connects deeply with audiences everywhere. Looking back on his journey, we see a man who dared to challenge himself, who embraced change, and who lived fully through his art. And perhaps, that is what truly makes him timeless. Bruce Willis entered marriage for the first time in 1987, when he and Demi Moore became one of Hollywood's most admired couples. They were often seen as a dazzling pair under the spotlight, celebrated as a fairy tale romance in a world filled with glamour. Yet behind the glow were pressures, challenges, and moments of vulnerability only they could understand. From their union came 3 daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah. For Bruce, fatherhood was a gift beyond fame, a joy that grounded him. He once reflected that every smile and every step of his daughters gave life a deeper meaning. And even when the marriage ended in 2000, Bruce and Demi chose respect and friendship, walking side by side as parents so their daughters could grow up surrounded by love. In the years that followed, Bruce never let stardom overshadow his role as a father. He showed up for birthdays, for holidays, and for the small, ordinary moments that many overlook. That presence defined him as someone far different from John McClane or the heroes he portrayed on screen. In real life, he didn't need guns or battles. He only needed patience, tenderness, and devotion to stand strong for his children. In 2009, a new chapter began when Bruce married Emma Hemming Willis. She became not just his partner, but his source of comfort and strength, and the loving mother of their 2 daughters, Mabel Ray and Evelyn. Pennsylvania. Together, they built a home filled with warmth. Simple moments, walking hand in hand, sharing dinners, traveling as a family, spoke louder than any red carpet event. And as health challenges entered his life, Emma remained by his side, steady and unwavering, guiding him through every step of the journey. Friends, colleagues, and the 2 most important women in his life, Demi Moore and Emma Hemming, have all spoken of Bruce with admiration. To them, he is not only a legendary action star, but a man of humility, compassion, and deep love for family. Bruce once said that true happiness doesn't lie in applause or fame, but in shared meals, quiet walks with his children, and cherished family moments. And that is why audiences love him all the more. Because Bruce Willis is not only an immortal action icon, but also a symbol of fatherhood, devotion, and the beauty of simplicity in real life. Bruce Willis was once admired for his humor, quick wit, and magnetic way with words. He was the kind of man who could light up a room with just a line of dialogue or make audiences believe in every word he spoke on screen. But life has its own challenges, and Bruce found himself facing something far more personal than any role he had ever played. He was diagnosed with aphasia, a condition that slowly began taking away his ability to use language. Words that once flowed effortlessly now arrive with pauses, sometimes broken or incomplete. Even a simple conversation can require great effort. For someone who built a career on expression, it was a profound change. At home, Bruce still devoted his time to his wife and children. Yet even the smallest, simplest moments, a family meal, a casual walk, or a short story, became challenges. There were days when he felt tired, even frustrated, unable to fully express what was on his mind. And yet, Bruce refused to let silence define him. He found new ways to connect, through his eyes, through a smile, through the warmth of holding someone's hand. And in those moments, his family felt his love more deeply than ever. Emma Hemming Willis once shared that despite the difficulty, Bruce has kept an optimistic spirit. He learned to use gestures instead of words, turning everyday moments into treasures. A smile, a nod, even a short playful remark became powerful symbols of his effort to connect with those he loves. This is not the Bruce Willis audiences knew on screen, but the real Bruce in life, a man of courage, adapting to a new reality with grace and resilience. Experts say that aphasia not only affects speech but also reading, writing, and understanding language. For an actor once celebrated for his expressiveness, it is a heavy challenge. But Bruce is not alone. Emma and his children remain by his side, offering care, patience, and love without condition. His family has become his anchor, helping him hold on to joy and stay positive, even as life changes in unexpected ways. When his story became public, the world paused. Fans and colleagues from everywhere sent their heartfelt messages, wishing him strength. The sight of a once indestructible action hero now facing life's greatest trial with quiet bravery moved many to tears. It reminded us that health is the greatest gift, and that even icons can be vulnerable. But within that vulnerability, Bruce Willis shines in a different way. He embodies love, resilience, and inner strength, leaving behind not just the legacy of a Hollywood legend, but the lasting impression of a man who continues to inspire the world. When Emma Hemming Willis shared the news about Bruce Willis's health, the world seemed to fall silent. Social media turned into a sea of memories, a place where millions of fans gathered to send love and encouragement. Some brought back unforgettable moments of John McClane in Die Hard, bravely fighting against all odds. Others recalled Butch Coolidge in Pulp Fiction, a tough man with layers of hidden emotions. And many chose the image of Corbin Dallas from The Fifth Element, smart, brave, yet deeply relatable. They posted old videos, faded posters, and movie clips, each one a heartfelt tribute saying, "We remember you, Bruce." Together, these fragments became a chorus of gratitude, a celebration of his brilliant artistic journey. It wasn't just the fans. Hollywood itself spoke up. Samuel L. Jackson, John Travolta, and many others who once stood beside Bruce shared words filled with warmth. They didn't just describe a talented actor, but a humble friend, a kind man who always placed family above all else. Directors and producers who had worked with him recalled stories from film sets, where Bruce was more than a star, he was a source of positive energy that lifted everyone's spirit. These messages, filled with love, wrapped around the Willis family like an embrace. Emma and the children could feel deeply that they were never alone. Around them stood a community, united not just for an action hero, but for a real human being, a husband, a father, someone fighting through life's greatest challenge. And in that unity, the world was reminded of something profound. Bruce Willis's legacy is not only written on the silver screen but also carried in the hearts of millions. His legacy is more than iconic roles, it is the spirit of resilience, the love for family, and the humanity he represents. Bruce is not just a movie star. He is a memory, an emotion, a source of inspiration that the world will always carry forward. There are stories that make us pause, stories that stay in our hearts long after we hear them. The journey of Bruce Willis is one of those stories. The man who once ignited the screen with fearless, larger-than-life heroes is now facing a challenge no one expected. Aphasia, a condition so unfamiliar to many, has gradually taken away his fluent speech, turning communication, once the lifeblood of an actor, into a daily struggle. From being witty, quick, and effortlessly charming, Bruce now must find patience in expressing himself differently. Sometimes through a gentle smile. Sometimes through the warmth of his eyes. And in those simple gestures, love and resilience still shine through. This story reminds us of a profound truth: health is the most precious treasure. Time does not spare anyone, no matter how famous, wealthy, or powerful. Even an action icon who once ruled Hollywood cannot escape the natural limits of the body. Yet within this challenge, we witness a different kind of strength, the strength of the spirit. Bruce does not surrender. He learns to adapt, to embrace the small joys, to find meaning in the little things. A shared meal with family. A quiet walk under the sun. A moment sitting beside his children, listening to their laughter. These ordinary moments have now become priceless treasures. Bruce has found peace in them. And through his story, people everywhere learn that true happiness does not come from fame, fortune, or the spotlight. It comes from love, from connection, from the simple moments of everyday life we too often overlook. The message from this journey is not loud, but it echoes deeply. It urges us to love ourselves, to care for our health, to spend time with our families, and to cherish the present. It teaches us empathy and understanding, because we all will face our own limits one day. And it reminds us that the way we endure, the way we love, the way we keep moving forward, that is where true strength is found. Bruce Willis is not only a hero on screen. He continues, with quiet patience, with his warm heart and steady presence, to inspire the world about the real meaning of life. A life where the most valuable gift is not fame or glory, but the love and connection we share with those who matter most. Though words slowly drift away from him, the love of his family and the warm embrace of his wife and children remain, becoming a safe harbor in the stormiest days. A shared glance, a tight handhold, a simple moment of sitting together in their little home, all of these are now more precious than any spotlight or glory the stage once offered. To millions of fans, Bruce Willis is not only the immortal hero on screen, not only the fearless John McClane or the sharp and strong Corbin Dallas. He is also a symbol of resilience, of love, and of a complete and devoted family. And perhaps, the greatest legacy he leaves behind is not in the timeless films, but in the image of a man of courage, a husband, a father who always lived wholeheartedly for those he loved. That legacy goes beyond cinema, beyond time itself, to live forever in the hearts of those who admired him.